Wait.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 5. In the last part we went through the dungeon, we went through Kamoshida's palace, and in this part we're going to be continuing through with what is pretty much the final part, the final section of Kamoshida's palace, which is this little tower area, which also has a few little puzzles. But this thing to show off is this little area here, which is so tastefully decorated. Basically this is a little elevator, and this will take you right actually to the very beginning of the dungeon. So if you go out here, so we got some treasure to grab, which I forgot to grab. Oop, that was a problem. So yeah, there's a thing we can call upon here, which this is basically like a little.
For real?
It's a chest and a bit of a mini fight, which is not too bad. So succubus, weak to gunshots, weak to light. Not difficult to take down. They're actually, I don't really use the succubus all that much as a persona, but I do like the design. The design's pretty cool. My apologies. But yeah, new enemy for the first time in quite a while.
All right.
Wow, that music went over way too long. So now we got the chest, we got a bead that recovers your HP. It recovers a small amount of HP. As you can see here, we got a little
This has to be a joke.
portrait. Yeah, this is kind of weird.
It's somewhere.
Yeah, as you can see, it's a blue, so let's go through the giant portrait. And you flip through, and you're now right at the beginning, of the dungeon, right at the main entrance.
You notice?
Which is kind of fucking irritating, because obviously, it's designed so that you can only enter it once you've discovered it, and you discover it right at the end of the fucking dungeon. So it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of annoying because it's kind of like, oh really, I could have just gone through this way the whole time, but I've not been allowed to. That fucking sucks. Anyway, my apologies, bit of a frog in my throat. But yes, so now we're going to go back and we're going to finish off the dungeon and go through the finish off the rest of this tower area, which doesn't actually take too long. I don't think it gives you. Does it give you a save point? I'm trying to remember. No, it doesn't. I don't think there is a save point. I think.
Chest. I'll reveal
Yeah.
your true form.
There is somewhere. I just can't remember. I'm leaving this guy in.
I don't see a weakness.
Yeah, so this is the Heavenly Punisher. We thought this was a mini boss, and now it's like a regular enemy. So I thought I'd leave this in just to show it off. It's worth trying to get him if you can. Yeah, basically, if your rank is too low when you fight them, they will say, your rank's too low, you can't get me, so here, take this item. He gave us a Heavenly Fruit. And our Sen's got a new skill, Secunda. That
Alright.
I believe that's a buff. Buffs up your party. I can't remember what started buffs, but yeah, we can't open that. But yeah, we don't need to do that.
Show me
So
your
anyway,
true form.
got another enemy to fight, and it's this room where which has the save point there. And it also has the stairs to take you up to the next floor. Weird thing was that I didn't look at my map for some reason, because I'm a fucking idiot. and I basically went round and round in circles throughout the 3 rooms for like 4 or 5 turns before I finally walked into that direction and found that the stairs kind of formed at that point, and I was kind of like,
The timing's up to you.
oh dear, I'm a bit of a moron, aren't I? Time to fight more enemies. It looks like we got a new enemy.
The first move is this one
Andras.
is weak.
Weak to fire, weak to gunfire. His design is also kind of cool, I think. I think I try and get him, but yeah, my level isn't high enough. So I get Devil Fruit. Which is a bit of a shame, but whatever.
Nice work, team.
But whatever. I do like his design. He's kind of... I can't remember using him all that much. I think he is kind of useful. Good physical attacker, I think, from what I remember. But it's, you know, it's been such a long time since I used him. It was like my first
They
playthrough.
were too weak to bother with.
So yeah, we're moving on. So basically,
Look,
this
a
section
treasure chest. Why don't we crack it open?
of the dungeon I always found kind
Show
of...
me your true form.
A stylish victory.
It's just padding, I think, at this point, because we'll see in a minute. Yeah, that was me being a fucking moron. Standing out in the open, waiting to be caught. Relax gel, that basically recovers ooh, chest. That recovers if you're feeling I believe if you're afflicted by fear, I believe, then you use that to kind of get rid of it as a status ailment. It's alright. But it's useful if you it is useful to have those kinds of, you know, restorative things. So yeah, here we are. So you look here. So there's something up with the statue.
Damn it.
So let's move on. Oh fuck. What the fuck is this? Where the hell did this come from? It's like something out of a horror movie. So yeah, basically, we can't get past. But what does that mean? What does that mean? It means we have to try and use this statue to control it. But nothing seems to work. So, what does that mean? Oh, fucking hell. It means that we have to find basically 2 spherical keys and place them into his eyes in order to get past this section.
Man.
And like, this is just like, to me, it's just... It's basically, you have to go back one room, find the first key, go back another room to find the second key, and then you back up here. It's kind of, to me, it's just padding. I would have preferred it if they just like went for it straight away. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was just like, if you had to go back for the keys, but they were both in the same room, I think it would be less of a pain in the ass. Sorry, but yeah, it's just a pain. Fortunately, they do highlight it because they say like the guy who's got the gold, outline here.
Takes for me.
No, I'm an idiot. I'm a liar. We didn't get the key from him.
Focus.
Yeah, so at the moment, this is me just being a dumbass. So you have to go back to this room and you have to fight all the enemies. Tom, what are you doing?
Focus.
Oh no, this was it. Yeah, I remember now. You have to go back. You have to find... No. There you go. Basically, you have to find the
I
2
don't see a weakness.
captains who are kind of in the gold armor. A bit tougher to take down. But we shouldn't have any issues with them, really. Resistance, of course.
Let's go, Captain.
Weak to electricity, so let's just fuck him up. That guy is, I believe... Is it Eligor? I think it is. He was a pretty powerful persona if you can get him. There we go, we've got the Randy right eye. And our Sen has moved up to level 5. And he has learned Dream Needle. Physical attack, not too bad, never really use it. So we still have... we still have one more eye to find, which means we have to go back another room from what I remember.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so basically you go back down, you go down 2 rooms
Let's go, Joker.
to find the eye, the first eye, and then you have to go back down to pretty much the bottom floor again. And once you go down to the bottom floor, there will basically be a bunch of enemies that you can find. Here, I'm being super cautious. Don't need to be.
Too tired after
Yeah, here at
that,
this point,
are
I'm
you?
just like, fuck it.
Don't fall behind.
Silence phone. Sorry if you heard that.
For real?
Right, as you can see here. So now we're back down to the ground floor, and there are basically 3 enemies who all have the golden armor. Only one of them has the actual key, though. And I believe it's... Yeah, the one that's golden has the key. So if you want to, you can just fight the guy with the golden armor.
I can feel it.
Fuck you. But, you know, of course, these enemies are going to be in the way. So, Tom, run. Shift your ass. Yeah, at this point, I'm just like, fuck it. And now he's going to use double fangs. Oh, critical, so he gets another attack. He causes a fair bit of damage your first playthrough. I mean, the first playthrough, he causes a lot of fucking damage. I'm just fortunate that, you know, I'm playing this in New Game Plus. Which of course means that I've got my best armor. I don't know what I was thinking here, to be honest. That was stupid. I should have learnt and just have Ryuji use his electric attack. I think at this point I was just thinking that there might be another boss ahead, so I was trying to preserve SP, but just being an idiot. So now we got the lustful left eye. So that is the 2 keys that we need.
Okay,
So we've got the 2 keys and now we've got to head back.
Let's go.
You see, it just feels to me like fucking padding and run. Yeah, it just feels to me like padding. Just like go to the top of the you know, you enter this room, you go through the tower, you go through to the top of the tower, or near the top of the tower. You can't continue. You know, it's that thing of then you can't continue
I'll reveal
because
your true form.
there's a key. The 2 keys that you need. So you go all the way back down, and then you get and then you have to go, you know, get the keys, you know, from the bottom, and then you have to go all the way back up. It's just padding. Just a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst piece of dungeon design I've ever seen in a game, but it's still a pain in the dick, which I don't enjoy.
All right, let's go.
I do love that noise. But anyway, we're done now, and there is a chest we can get here. So let's get that chest. We've got ourselves a soul drop. That restores 20 SP. 20 SP points.
I'll reveal your true form.
So recovers your magic a
That's all
little
it
bit.
takes for me.
Pretty useful. Got another chest, and we got a revival bead. That is, I believe, it's just a revive item. Like, it doesn't revive you with full health; it just revives you. But it's pretty useful. I think it revives you with like 30% of your HP, which is better than fucking nothing. So now we've got one last thing that we need to do before we get to the very top and the end of this. The end of the. Well, we're gonna have to come back to the dungeon, but it's the end of the first run through, pretty much, and that is that the stairs are here, but they won't form. That's irritating. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that was nothing. I'm trying to remember. What you have to do, how you, I think, yeah, I did, I was wandering around for a little bit. There we go, you have to stand there. And then, the ladder, the stairs won't form until you fight our second mini-boss. Basically the head of Kamoshida's guard. Do an auto-recover. So it's time to face off against this jackass. Our second mini-boss. And yeah, this is it's a design and a half. This is yes, this is the Torn King of Desire, and stairs. it's yeah. So she is the one who's going to get the brunt, as it were, of the attack, and he looks like cross slash does a fuck ton of damage, man. Makes the game so much easier. Despairs. Oh, that's fantastic. First playthrough, I had such a hard time with it, but look at him. He looks like a dick. green chode. Fucking hell. And it's obsessed with staring at Anne. It's called the Torn King of Desire. That is fucking dark. But we're done. We've beaten Kamoshida's dick. And Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's the mini. I'm with you, man. I'm so done with this place. Let's get the fuck out. Yes, and now the stairs form, and we can move on. And I think we're pretty much done here. I do love that noise though, the little clicking noise that you hear once the thing sounds. Lifestone, that restores, I think, 20 HP points. It's useful enough. And yes, here we are. This is the final area, ladies and gentlemen. We're just outside. There we go. And we're down to 0%, which is nice. Relax gel, I have several that does. And we got our last save point. Get this save point before you move on, because then you can just spawn here right at the beginning when you can warp to here when you come back. But yeah, here we are. This is the final area. This is the throne room, and behind him is the treasure room. We're almost done. And a ton of soldiers. So he's
Okay, let's go.
pissed off about us not being caught, as you would. But basically at this point, all we have to do, don't hear it, in we go, and that is pretty much it.
I can see it.
We have found ourselves the treasure room, and this is where the treasure is being kept. The treasure of Kamoshida's dungeon, and there it is. Basically, it doesn't spawn in at this point,
What is this place?
and that will be explained
Holy shit!
momentarily.
That treasure thing's gotta be in here.
And there it is. It's the
Hey,
big
what is
swirl
this?
of light above him.
It's floating in the air.
Yeah, so
It's the
pretty much
treasure.
this is the treasure.
Finally found it.
And how the game pretty much works is you have to find...
Just hold on a second. I was planning on telling you more.
So
once
basically
you
what you have to do is you have to find an infiltration... All the dungeons work
We
the
need to
same,
make
pretty
it
much.
materialize before we
You
can
have to
steal
find
it.
a way through the dungeon and find an infiltration point
What do you
to
mean?
find the treasure. Once you've found the
Desires have
treasure,
no
which is this
physical form
thing
by
here,
nature. Hence, we'll first need to
we
make
then
the
have to go
real
back
person
out into
aware
the
that
real
their
world,
desires are
and
in
we have
fact a
to
treasure. Once they're conscious that their
create
desires
like a
might be
calling card
stolen,
to basically
the treasure will finally show itself.
and make sure that the
But how do
person
we
who
do
has
that?
the palace sees it.
We warn
because
them. Tell them
So once
they're
they've seen
going
the
to
coin card,
steal your heart.
their
send a code
shadow
card?
self will
Well,
know
that's
about
totally what a
that
phantom
they've
thief would
been
do.
that we know where the
Once they do
treasure
that,
is,
The treasure will appear for certain.
and so as a result,
I think.
that will force the
Again,
treasure to
either
appear.
way, sounds like it's worth giving it a shot.
I think.
Our infiltration route is secure.
But so
left
basically,
now is to pump
the
out
and that will
calling
cause the
card
treasure to
reality
form, but the treasure will only
come
form
back to
for
take the
24
treasure.
hours. So once you've decided to
That's it,
send the
huh?
coin card, you have to go after it the next day. If you don't, it's a game over. So
the
you have to
spirit.
be
Once we
incredibly
send out the
cautious
calling card, there will be
about
no
what you
turning
do.
back.
It's pretty much
Just let me know when
how
you're
I did it my
Head back
first
to the
playthrough.
hideout and send out that
was-
calling card.
I went through the dungeon, and once I'd been through this dungeon, which I had to leave once, I think, before I found the treasure.
Well then,
But once I found the treasure, I immediately sent the calling card.
Hey,
Once I'd immediately sent the calling card, I was then, I then did the dungeon. I basically, as soon as it was possible for me to send the calling card, I sent it so that I could complete the dungeon as quickly as possible. That was pretty much how I did it for every single dungeon in the game. My first playthrough. This playthrough is going to be a little bit different because there's stuff I can do in between. Because we've got this thing now, we can now technically come straight back and beat the dungeon if we wanted to. But I don't do that. I go off and do some other stuff. As you can see, it shows you in the infiltration log. Basically, this is all the stuff that you've done, and because I did it all in one go, there's a lot of stuff to show off, and there's a lot of stuff to go through the infiltration log. And also remember that every time you come back from being in the dungeon,
okay.
you can't go out at night because you're tired. Now, there is a caveat to that. And that is, once you've maxed out your social link with another character, which we haven't met yet, we haven't started that social link yet. Once we've met that person and maxed out their social link, I've given it away. It's her. Maxed out her social link, we can then get a massage from her, basically, and then we can go out at night as well. Basically heals us up. But anyway, that's it for this part of Persona 5. Join me next time when we are going to be doing some ancillary stuff. We'll be doing some little social link and side quest kind of stuff before we move on and finally take down Kamoshida once and for all. So join me next time for the next part of Persona 5. See you next time.